Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Back today with another Dodge Grand Caravan video. A little bit ago I did a video on changing spark plugs, showed you how to take off the intake manifold and change out the spark plugs. Today we're going a little deeper. That didn't seem to fix the misfire. I still get that misfire code cylinder 1. If you go back and rewatch that video, you kind of explained to you what I was doing, but I was having a cylinder 1 misfire. I switched the coils and the injector, and that didn't seem to help, and it was still in the cylinder 1. But I didn't check the spark plugs. Took the spark plugs out. They were fouled and kind of bad, so I changed those, took for a drive. Still doing the same thing. So I've already taken off the upper intake, kind of showed you guys how to do that on the last video. I can put some kind of a link either here or down in the description or wherever. There will be a link to that video if you need to see how to do that part. So it's pretty simple, but go back, rewatch that video. You can see how to get to the spark plugs, and it shows you how to remove the coils and the upper intake and all that. But anyway, this I'm going to take it a little step further. We're going to take off the valve covers, and we're going to inspect the camshafts and see if it's a cam problem. I also did compression in the cylinder 1 over there was good. This one's number 1. It's 135-246. So I did it on number 1. It was good. So compression, spark plug's good. I re-swapped coils again at that time, and it's still a number 1. So we're going to show you how to take off the valve covers. Again, not too tricky, but not simple that, you know, you should be able to just do it. So I'm going to kind of show you how to do that. There's a few little processes that you need to do to get them off. A few things you got to get out of the way. You got to pop this out of the way, which is fairly simple. Just give that a little yank and a little yank, and then you have to get these little brackets out of your way, and then your bolts across, you got to pull that out. I'll show you how to do all that. So tell you what tools you need, show you how to do all that. So hang tight and I will be right back. Okay, and we are back. Got to pull the coils, which I didn't already have those. Could have already had those removed so that they're out of the way. We got to get those out of the way. We're also going to do the lower intake at some point. I could show you how to do it here, but we're going to, because the kit I got comes with upper and lower gaskets. We're going to change those out while we're in there since we have them. May as well. So I'll show you how to get all that off as well. And then we'll probably just take the valve covers off and inspect the cams on this episode. And then on another video, we'll actually change out the cams if needed. I'm sure it needs them, because after a while it was kind of getting that ticking sound, you know, that famous Dodge ticking sound from bad coils or from the bad lifters. But anyway, we are going to, personally I recommend, you know, by hand on most of this, just because you don't want to damage anything. If you're not too confident, I don't have power tools, then don't, you know, just do it by hand. This is these are 10 millimeter. I use a wobble. They're more convenient, but you can do it with just a regular 10 millimeter socket. Doesn't necessarily have to be a wobble. And I can leave links to everything all the tools I'm using and all the parts I'm using, and I will leave links to that down below, just so that you know you got what you need. If you don't have it, I'll leave links so you know what you are going to need. So that way there's no confusion. Okay, so over here we've got some cam sensors, one on each side. Those got to be unplugged. Plug that one, and then that kind of gets this wire loom kind of out of your way, and that's all you need on that. And then basically we've got to get these little brackets out of the way. It's a 13 millimeter. They're kind of down in there a little ways. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. Just grab like a ratcheting wrench. That's all you really need to get. Pop these little clips off. They've already been popped off. I've been in here already looking at some things, so I've got a lot of this off already. But like this little clip here goes on, kind of snaps onto one of those. Got to get that off of there so you can get to that bolt. That comes off. You got to unplug this. This has to be removed. It's a Torx. I'll get you the size when I'm ready for that. And then we're also gonna, like I said, we're gonna remove the plugs for the injectors. You don't have to pull your rail off unless you want to swap injectors if you're hunting down a misfire. Otherwise, you just leave that bolted right onto your lower intake, and then it's just this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and same thing on back. You got one here, one here, one here, and then one over here, and your lower intake is off. You got the one right here, and those are 8mm. You got your little fuel line right there. It's just a little squeeze clamp. Get you some needle nose pliers, squeeze these two clamps together, pop that off, and you're good to go. But I'll show you all that as we're getting there. First, next thing I will get down in here, pull these out of the way, these little brackets, which they don't have to be totally removed, they just have to be loosened up. And it's kind of a tight squeeze back there. You got to kind of get your hand down in here and loosen them up. That's why a ratcheting wrench is ideal for that. And then pretty much all you got to do on this one. But again, I'll walk you through all of that. All right, so 13mm ratcheting wrench. Like I said, this can be kind of a pain in the butt to get to. You just got to kind of reach down around stuff as best you can. Down onto that little. Ooh, just don't touch your battery. That gives you a little bit of a spark there. Try not to. Well, not your battery. It was alternator power wire. Try not to touch that. You get a little sparking. Don't do what I did. You know, do what I say, not what I do. Type of thing. Got this bracket. There's just a 13mm nut on it. If I can find down where it's at, there it is. Just got to kind of feel for it. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. You might even, there we go. Ratchet wrench right there. Turn it to the off position. Just got to loosen it up. You don't have to pull it all the way off. Just loosen it up enough that you can kind of move it kind of out of your way so you can get to that nut or to your bolt. So just kind of reach down, just kind of give it a little. You could take it all the way off if you really want to, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So again, not totally, don't necessarily need to. Just kind of get it to where you can flop it out of your way. Get you down here and show you what I'm talking about here. There's just a little bolt down there. It's a little stud bolt, but if you just get it to where you can just kind of move it out of your way, you've got a bolt for your valve cover right behind it, so it makes it kind of difficult to get to. And the same with this one, you're going to want to move it out of the way. So you're going to want to reach down. It, like I said, it's kind of tricky, but there's just can't really see it on the camera here, but there's a little bolt stud that goes down there, holds it on. It's not the easiest or best thing to get to, but not impossible. All right, so let's see if I can get down to that one. It's kind of a pain. Go down there. Sometimes you could take the fan out, but that's not necessary. Give you a little bit more room, but you know, like I said, not necessarily. Just gotta feel your way down in there. Now, where is it at here? Where is it at there? Down in there, it's kind of, like I said, it's way down in there. There we go. Got on it. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yep, there we go. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of like way down in there trying to get to it. It's kind of this one's a little hard to get to, but I think I got it. Oh, maybe. Is that the right thing? No, that's the nut that holds on the AC line, and then the stud's down below it, so there's still more behind it. Yay! yeah, that's kind of a pain. But I'll kind of work on that, get it, so you don't sit there and watch me fight and cuss at it. But it's doable. You just have to reach down and get a hold of it. But I'll let you go for a second, and I'll do this off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that open-end wrench on that one. Once you get that nut off, you kind of have to bend out the tab a little bit so you can get an open-end wrench on it. But again, just so you can, again, just enough to get to where you can flop it out of your way. But on your heater hose line, it's this one here. There's that little piece that you have a little nut on top of that stud. You have to take that off, and then you have to kind of bend that out of your way a little bit, and then from there you just pull that off, or you just pull that stud off with a 13 millimeter open end wrench, and you're good to go. So onto this, like I said, it's just a T30. Just pull that off, get that taken care of. Put you back up here real quick. Again, I kind of recommend hand tools so you don't break anything, especially going off with it. And some people will say you have to pull your cam sensors off over here. You don't necessarily have to. May not be a bad idea, but if you do, mark them so you make sure they go back on the same side. That way you don't get them mixed up. But so just a T30 there. Give it a little twist and a pull. You might have to stick a screwdriver down in there to kind of pry it out a little bit. Make sure you get the screw all the way out, I guess. Got a long screw. Shouldn't be all the way. Shouldn't go all that far down. Maybe it does. Yep, there we go. Okay, then just kind of pop that out. It should pop out pretty easy. It's like that guy right there. Just pull that out. You got one on your other one as well, on your back side. And then it's just your bolts around the perimeter of your valve cover. I will grab a 10 millimeter up in here. See if I've got a 10 with me. 10. Grab my extension with a 10 millimeter. Again, if you trust yourself with power tools, go ahead. If not, just use regular tools. Oh, it's an 8. It's an 8, not a 10. 8 millimeter on these valve covers. Here. These ones you might not be able to get to as easily. And they shouldn't come all the way out. They should pretty much stay put pretty well inside your valve cover. They're not the kind that come all the way out. Unless you make them come all the way out. Here it had that little wiring thing clip to it. Gotta get that off of there. Get it out of the way. And then just ratchet down on it. Pull that. Now you should be able to just get this thing off of here. Okay, it's kind of stuck. Double check, make sure I got everything off of it. Again, you've got the factory puts a little silicone like kind of right here, and it kind of gets stuck, so you might have to grab your screwdriver, if I can find my screwdriver. Let's see. Here it is, right here in front of my face. Just gotta get that in there and give it a little twist. It is plastic. All this this is your fuel rail and all that, so gotta be a little careful when you're what you're prying on and everything, so you don't accidentally break something off. There we go. Make sure all this crap is out of the way. It's going to kind of hold it back, make sure it's all out of the way. It's kind of got to work out a little bit. These wires out of the way, and let's catch on here. Catch on that, not that. Catch on that a little bit. So that little clip piece there is kind of holding on that a little bit. That one's not out all the way. Still kind of got a couple threads in it. There we go. There we go. Make sure we get all the threads. There we go. Just kind of work it a little bit. You got to get around all this wiring and all that good fun stuff. This wire here. There's another wire holding on right there. There's the problem. Probably cut that off. Okay, so I got that off. Had another little wire clip right here holding it, and you kind of have to like wiggle it around a little to get it through all this here. Then we can look at your lobes on your cam. Doesn't look all that great. You can wiggle around your deal here, but it felt like a cylinder 1. So being cylinder 1 is back here, so I got to get that one off. It's a lot the same. You just got some wire clips back here. You got to kind of pull off. You got this one here that goes across. Pull that out, and then you've got this little. You've got your EGR or PCV back here that has to unbolt from it as well. Other than that, you're basically there. But I will be back. I'm going to take a little break, eat some lunch, charge my phone for a minute, and I'll come back and we'll take off that side. And I'll be back. All right. Got my phone charged up a little so I can record some more. Got some food in my belly because I was getting hungry for lunch. Anyway, now we'll pull off this back valve cover and see what that one looks like. The cylinder 1 was the misfire problem. So we'll go back there and we'll see what we're up against here. So where am I at? Lost all my tools. Lost where I was at here. So you don't take breaks in between. Okay, 10mm. Coils. Those on. Coils out of there. Coil out of there. Okay, and then we've got these wire looms. We got plug our cam sensors. Pop those out. Screwdriver. Okay, now to get these out of here. They make better tools than a screwdriver for this, but at the moment that's all I remember to bring home. So that's what we're guys gonna have to work with. Pop those out. And I didn't even bring screwdrivers home, to be totally honest with you. Okay, I gotta get that last one out of there. It's gonna come out easier than that. And then we got these clips back here along the way that need to come off as well. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get those off. these little tabs here for your little engine cover. Pull those out. I don't have an engine cover on here anymore, so it's not totally necessary. These little guys here that hold your engine cover. I don't even know what happened to my engine cover. It's like gone. It's been gone for a long time, so and I don't know if I gotta pull these off or if I can just get to those bolts. That one's good. That one might have something attached to it. Oh, what's that right there? Of course, it's not going to come out very easily. Why would it come off easy? Duh. Okay, let me unplug. Okay, so I'm going to get all this extra nonsense off camera, so I'm not boring you to tears watching me. So I'll get all these unplugged, pull all those wires out of the way so I can get to the bolts, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything out of the way there. This should just kind of like push back out of your way. This will flip up kind of out of your way over there so you can get to all your bolts. Basically, we're ready, other than we got to get, you've got your little, you can see it right here, you got your PCV valve right here. It's just held on by that bolt there, or that screw, and that's it, just those two. They're T25. You can get to this one, but this back one here, you have to have this hose out of your way. You just got a little squeeze hose clamp there. It's got to come off, and then you can get to that one, and then that one, and then this will come off, and then you can take your valve cover off. So we'll go to that point, and then I will get that. The thing to have for something like that is some long needle nose, so you can reach up in there good. Some long, even that's kind of a pain in the butt, but you know what? It's not too bad. Okay, so that's off. Yeah, it just has one of these little squeeze clamp thingies. You just grab your needle nose and squeeze that, come right off with the hose. And you could probably technically get rid of that if you wanted to. But anyway, T25, Torx bit, Torx T25, and your 1/4 inch ratchet down into this thing here. Just break those loose. Once you break them loose, you can probably just use your socket, your little bit, and twist them out by hand. They're not super tight. Just try not to lose them down there, because I almost just did. Pull this one off. And just finger tight, not super tight. And then it should just, oh, is there another one? There is a third one back there. And on the bottom there's a third one. Just kind of feel for it back there. Can't see it, but kind of feel it. There we go. Thought there was a third one, but I wasn't sure. Apparently there was. There it is. It's a little harder to get to this one. Again, just careful not to drop it. Okay. And then it should just slide right out. That's what that looks like. It kind of holds it in, and you won't be able to get the valve cover off with that in. So got to pull that. And now we're ready to just go around the perimeter and get the valve cover bolts off. So we'll grab my 8mm, and I'll grab a shorter extension here. Alright, so we just grab our 8mm, go around the perimeter here. There is a couple others here, that wires that need to come off for those. It's just that one there. And I'm going to be pulling off this upper intake, or the lower intake as well, like I mentioned, because the kit I got does come with the gaskets, and I may as well, if I'm going this far, may as well change those gasket rings. No point in not changing them. It comes with them. And again, if you don't have power tools, go ahead and do it by hand. I'm just taking them out to save some time. Here in the back. Okay. And again, like the front one, you might just have to get your screwdriver down in there and kind of pry at it a little bit. Break that free. Just kind of pry up and down on it a little bit. Try not to pry on your plastic fuel rails too much, because they are plastic and they will break, and then you're even in a bigger world of hurt if you do that. Now, what am I catching on here? That bolt's loose, 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 loose. Probably just that same issue back there on that other deal. They're all loose around the edges there. Probably just stuck in there. See, now these I've never had off. I've had the intake off. I've had a few other little things off, but valve covers I have not had off yet. So they're kind of probably pretty stuck in there. Let's hold this back. Something's still holding it right there, probably. Something's holding it up over here. Not that one. Not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. See, they're all out. They're all out. They just gotta come. Something's, it's just catching on something back here. A little wire loom. Catch it over here. This one here is, I don't know what it's catching on. It's kind of catching on this back half of the can. It's going to come up here first. Slip over there like so. And then, oh, come on. All right. I'm almost there. It's coming. It's just got to keep all these wires out of your way, and these hoses and cords and all this stupid crap in the way back here. Holding it up. Like them out. What the heck is catching? It's just catching all the wires. I've got it all undone and unhooked. It's just kind of making it difficult, being in the way. Let's remove this thing so that it can kind of move a little bit. I want to pull this box out anyway, this air filter box. Alright, just kind of give me a little fix back there with that in the way. It's just catching on there. You got to be careful not to break these guys off, because then you got more parts to buy. Just got to do that, and there you go. There's your valve covers out. Pretty simple. Maybe not, but not too bad, but not extremely difficult either. But not super easy, but not super difficult either. Let's see here, number one. Yep, right there. That one's flopping around pretty good. That's pretty. Put you on pause for a second. Grab a flashlight so I can take you down in there and show you what we're looking at here. Alright, so we're down here at our rocker arms. See, I'll show you a good one. See, these rockers, they should be pretty snug. They shouldn't really have a lot of movement, like at all. Like see where I'm moving that right there, that rocker. They should be pretty snug there. This one here, on our intake side, you see that it's slapping around. You can kind of see where I've rubbed off. You can even feel that it's rubbed off the top of that cam lobe pretty good. You can see how it's kind of rough right there. Yep, there's our issue right there. They should be, see if I can find a good one here. See, they should be like nice and smooth right there. That one's all roughed up. So definitely found our problem. Camshaft. I'm gonna take off this lower intake. I don't know why I keep calling it the upper intake, but the lower intake. Gonna pull that off, and then I'll stop the video, and I'll do a separate video on how to get these cams off. So don't do a hour-long video, but I'll show you how to do the cams, set the timing. You know, get your timing set, get everything set up. I'll show you that in the next video. But if you need if you want to stick around and watch how to get this lower intake off and or see what's behind it, stay tuned. I will get going on that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we'll zoom in there. Like I said, this is just a couple of, get your long needle nose, squeeze that green clip in, and then pull that out. You might get a little gas squirting at you, so kind of be careful when you pull that off. You didn't get too bad, but just know there's a possibility you could get some gas splattered at you. It does have these little red clippies that you need to find your, just get your little 90-degree pick tool, pull up the little red tab, maybe like that, and then you just unplug it like so. Pull up your red tab, plug it. This side here, just kind of get it up in there and just kind of pull up on it. Sometimes they get kind of stuck in there. I don't know why they're so stuck. Oh, that one just flipped out of there somewhere. Hopefully it didn't go down in the engine. There it is. I found it. It's not in the engine. Be careful not to hit them too hard or they come flying out, and you don't need them to go down in any of these holes here. So just get that wiring loom out of your way over here. And then just get your 8mm. You got one here. You got one here. This is the outside of your fuel rail, because these four are on the inside. Take off your fuel rail. You don't have to do that unless you're switching injectors to check for misfires or whatever. so you don't have to worry about that. They're just the ones around the camera. Just pull those. And then it should just lift right off. If you got them all totally loose anyway, they should just lift right off. That should just come right off. Just like that. And then you want to grab like some paper towels or something to stick down in those holes. Get like some paper towels or something, or some rags, stuff down in there. That way, see all those leaves there don't go down in the holes. And then you can clean it up. Kind of looks like there may have been something going on up there on cylinder 1 as well. But you'll stuff some paper towels down in those holes. And then now is also a good time, if you have the gasket seals for this, to pull that and do that. I'm not doing that. My kit didn't come with those, and I don't feel like doing it. So anyway, all right, so just stuff some paper towels down in there so that when you go to wipe that, make sure you wipe that all down, clean that up real good. But you put those just paper towels or rags or whatever, stuff them down in there. That way when you do go to clean the edges up, you don't get that crap down in your valve train and down into your engine, just for safety precautions. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. That's how you get your valve covers off. If you need to see how to get the upper intake and all that off, go watch the other video. I'll leave a link below, or somewhere around here somewhere. I'll leave a link there. You'll be able to see it. Go watch that if you need to. But this is how you get your valve covers off and your lower intake down to your cams. I'll do another video to the cams on that here in a little bit. Within the next day or so it should be posted. If not, by the time you're watching this, it should already be posted. But anyway, enough rambling. Appreciate you watching. Be sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment. You know the YouTube stuff. And there is a membership button you can join if you feel like it. I don't have any members yet. At the time of this recording, I don't have any. There's also a super thanks button. Hit that super thanks button. Leave a small donation if you'd like. I don't have sponsors. I pay for everything I do on my own. It's my personal van, so I'm not making any money. So, but anyway, and if you don't feel generous, just hit that subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing and helps me out a ton. So, anyway, that's this video. Stay tuned for cams if you're interested in seeing how I do that, and I will see you in the next one.